Hello, it's Lex MPI back with another video, and today we're talking about compound growth and how that applies to the ETH 2.0 staking and how that will make you rich over time. Maybe not rich, just richer than you are. So I'll talk you through. We go to wallet, we go to earn. While this loads up, I'll take the opportunity to ask you to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel. I'm new to this, so please help out. Locked staking, ETH 2.0 staking. So here is the ETH 2.0 homepage. I did a video on this a couple of days ago actually. So what I'll do is I'll put that in the cards above and link you back to that video. That explains exactly how ETH 2.0 staking works, what your rewards are, how they're paid out, etc. And it will explain this whole page and go through some of the frequently asked questions at the bottom. But today, compound growth, and I'll show you exactly how Binance had made it easy for you to compound your growth and why that will really help you grow your Ethereum pot and make you money in the long term, and why you should be staking, why you need to be staking your ETH. So what this page shows is the amount of ETH I have being staked and the staking rewards. So the position column shows me the amount of ETH being staked, and the amount here shows the amount being paid out each day. So the beauty of the Binance staking platform for ETH 2.0 is that your rewards are paid out daily. So each day you get paid out. So as you can see here, on the first day, right at the bottom here, I had 0.01 ETH staked. And I was rewarded at the end of that day with 0.0000339 ETH. Not much, but this is just proof of concept for the example. That amount that I was rewarded, 2 days later, it takes about 2 days for any additional ETH to be added in, or BETH in this example, because we're working with BETH, that's the Binance ETH staking pool, is added in 2 days later. So what happened is that I had 0.01, which was staking. I earned that amount. Then day 2, I still had 0.01, but it takes 2 days for that earned amount to be added in. So what you'll see here is that once that first one's added in, then I get another 0.00039 from this day. So here, day 1, day 2. And then this amount is then added in here, as you can see. And what happens is that every time I make rewards from ETH staking, it's then reinvested into the staking pool, and then I then make further rewards based on the new amount. So your position is the amount you're making returns on, and that increases. So at this point here, yesterday, I was making ETH staking rewards based on this amount, which is the addition of the 0.01 with the addition of each reward added in cumulatively. It's added into my position, which means you make money on the money you made. It's a beautiful thing, and that is compounding. And that is why you need to be staking. It's why you need to be staking. What I'm going to take a look at now is just a bit of literature regarding compound interest. Wikipedia is always a great place for information. So, compound interest. Compound interest is the addition of interest to the principal sum of a loan or deposit. In other words, interest on interest. It is the result of reinvesting interest rather than paying it out. And that's the key thing here. What we're doing with that BETH is that every time we make BETH, we then put it back into the staking pool. So then we start earning interest on the initial principal deposit into the contract and the interest or the staking rewards. So you have the principal and then you have the staking rewards. So each day you get staking rewards, you put them back into the pot. So the next day you're earning interest on the initial principal plus the interest you earn. And that grows and grows exponentially over time. Exponentially, as you can see by the shape of that graph. That's in contrast to simple interest. Simple interest, where accumulated interest is not added to the principal amount of the current period. So there is no compounding. So in that example, what would happen is that you've deposited your ETH, you make your ETH staking rewards, and then those staking rewards you take out and you sell them for cash, and then you spend it on whatever you want. You don't reinvest it back into the staking pool to make more money on that interest. There are advantages and disadvantages to both. Some people like simple interest because it allows them to have an income. If you have loads of money, and we'll go through an example shortly, you can live off of the income you're making from that interest and not reinvest it. Now I'll talk you through an Excel spreadsheet that I've created that allows for easy comparison of the power of compound interest. Here we are on my Excel that has the compound interest calculator, and it compares it with simple interest. It's pretty simple to use. You have an initial investment, so that's the amount you start depositing it, your principal amount. So that could be £100, for example, or 100 ETH. It doesn't really matter what it is. The numbers or the math still applies here. So let's use ETH as an example because I'm using this to display the power of compounding on ETH 2.0 staking on Binance. So if you had 100 ETH, which is here, initial investment, and your APY, that's your annual percentage yield. So that is what you're making each year, and that is actually the current APY that ETH 2.0 staking is giving. That's 10%. Delete that. So what we have here is you have your 100, and what that does is updates the numbers here. So I could change that to 200, and there we go, change it to 200 on both my calculators. So it's just quite simple for me to compare and contrast the two. So let's go back to 100 because 100 is easy and simple for everyone, so we don't get confused. What I have here is the final amount, and that is the final amount you have after 15 years of investing using compound interest and simple interest. Yep. So as you can see here, the difference. When you do simple interest, you make 250 ETH at the end of it. So you deposit 100 ETH and you end up with 250 ETH at the end. With compound interest, like you do on Binance, yeah, you see, in ETH 2.0, you end up with 418. See the difference there? See the difference? Crazy. So I'll talk you through what's happening on each calculator here. So what you have is you have year, that's the year number, so which year you're in, first year, second year, up to 15. The interest bearing account balance. So this is your account that you're staking your ETH in and how much you have in it at the start of each year. And then this is the interest earned, the staking rewards. This is how much you've earned from your balance for that particular year. So as you can see, in year one, we have 100, because that's our initial investment. We have 100 ETH. And then we earn 10 ETH at the end of the year. That's 10%. So 10% of 100 gives you 10. So I then have 110. But with that additional 10, I go and sell it. So the current price of ETH is $1,000. There we go, per ETH. So therefore, I would then have my initial ETH deposit, and then I would sell my 10 ETH and get $10,000. That's a win. I can spend that on a new car and spend it or whatever and live my life. And then next year, I still have my same 100 ETH in the same account, and I get another 10. This is great. I'm essentially getting, my money's working for me. This is amazing. I have deposited 100 ETH, and I'm making 10 ETH a year as a salary from my invested ETH. Beautiful. However, compound interest is a little bit smarter. As you probably would have guessed, what happens here is I deposit my 100 ETH, I make 10 ETH in the first year, which is exactly the same as my simple interest. So here, exactly the same. However, the second year, what happens is I take that 10 ETH I earned, I put it back into the interest-bearing account, and at the end of that year, I get interest of 10% on the 110 ETH. Not 100, because I added that 10 back in, and now that 10 is now working for me just like the 100 did. So the next year, I then have 121 because I had 110, I made 11, I add that to the 110 I had already, and now I have 121. And as you can see, this continues. You put back in the additional interest you earn, and as you can see, you earn more and more interest over time because the amount in the interest-bearing account increases. Therefore, you make even more interest. And that is why you end up with a final amount at the end of the 15 years of 418 as opposed to 250. So it's not quite double, but it's up there. It's maybe up to 80% there. That more for being smart and reinvesting. And that is what Binance ETH 2.0 is doing for you. And any staking you do in the crypto world, you should be reinvesting your staking rewards to maximize the return in the long run. And the most powerful aspect of this, the most powerful aspect of this is if you're buying ETH and staking ETH on ETH 2.0, you believe in Ethereum. And therefore, you believe that the price of Ethereum is going to grow. So currently, the price of Ethereum is, what, $1,000? Right? If, for example, well, we speculate and we say the price of ETH will be $5,000 in 15 years. That's my conservative estimate, right? That multiplies how significant the difference is, because in this calculation here, I end up with 250 ETH, right? In this calculation here, I ended up with 418 ETH. Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do for my 418 minus my 250. There we go. So I end up with 168 more ETH when I compound, right? At the end of the 15 years. Okay. And at current prices of $1,000, yep, dollars per ETH, that is $168,000 difference. But if at the end of the 15 years, it's worth $5,000, right, per ETH, and we do that calculation, that 5,000 multiplied by the 168, we end up with, there we go, $838,624 more. So not only are you gaining more ETH, that growth could be amplified, right, by the appreciation in the ETH price over time. So if in the long run you think ETH is growing in price, which you should do if you're staking on ETH 2.0, you see how the power of this compounding is. I hope that's made clear what the message I tried to convey here, which is that compounding growth is magical and it will make you a lot of money. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed that. If you didn't enjoy it, please like and subscribe anyway. It's Lex MPI. Have a nice day. See you again soon.